Hi, welcome again to Moose Jaw This Week. I'm Al Johnson, your host, and today we're down at the Canadian Cancer Society talking about Cancer Month. And I have Megan Rocheleau with me. Welcome.
Thank you.
And this is the second time she's been on the show. And last time it was pretty exciting. It was, how many days had you been on the job when you were?
It was just a few. It wasn't too many.
Yeah.
So.
But you settled in nicely, and things are going well, and that's a good thing for the Cancer Society and for the people of Moose Jaw. So, of course, Cancer Month. So let's just talk about how that, the history of it, and do you know much about that?
Well, October is Women's Cancer Month. It used
Women's
to be
Cancer, okay.
used to be Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but rather than focus on one specific part, we just kind of expanded into all forms of cancer that affect women. So it would be everything from breast to lung to uterine and cervical cancers. So.
Yeah, because I remember in the motorcycle community they have rides it was rides for breast cancer before, so now it'll be rides for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have some events coming up. Of course, there's a big one in the middle of October.
The big one in the middle of October is Jail and Bail. So that's going in full swing right now.
Yeah, and it sounds like fun because you're going to set the jail up in the mall.
Right. Yeah.
And people are going to be able to suggest delinquent activities in our community and where people should be jailed for that.
Yeah, exactly. So the person that is nominated will never know who nominated them, so that adds a little bit of fun because you can nominate someone and never have to own up to it, basically.
Well, that's a good thing, like, sort of.
Yeah.
You don't know which of your friends to like more or not. Yeah. And so how does it work? How do people go about doing this?
So if you're wanting to nominate somebody, you can either come into the office or call me here at 692-2333, and then just nominate the person and I'll get in contact with them from there. But they'll go into jail at the Town and Country Mall and they'll have to be there until they raise their bail. We don't keep them all day. If they
Do people come and pick them up, or do they have to make their own way to jail?
They can either come themselves, or we do have people that can come pick them up and take them to jail.
Wow, with lights flashing and stuff.
They have to wear their lovely striped robes and handcuffs.
Okay.
So.
And handcuffs.
Yes.
So they go up there and they sit there and they have to call people and get them to
they're
donate.
Exactly. They're put into jail with the phone books and everything they need to make the calls. So we encourage them to, even beforehand, if they want to raise the money, they can just make an appearance and go if they so choose. But otherwise, they'll be in jail and they'll have the phone book to call their contacts to.
Bring your phone.
Yes.
Do you supply phones, or do they have to bring their own phone?
We encourage people to bring their cell phones because even in that too, then they'll have their contacts in their phone that they can call.
Yeah, for sure. Start at A and go. Well, but say, is there anything that you can do to divert this, or are you locked in once you start?
No, we have a very crooked judge this year. So
who's that?
No names.
Oh, no
So
names.
it can't be paid off early.
Yeah.
But he's always willing to accept bribes to potentially lessen the sentence.
Yeah, we have in the military. There's a term: no names, no pack drill. So, the judge can be bribed.
He can indeed.
And what will happen when they bribe? You have to pay off your thing early, or how does it work?
If you do pay off the judge and bribe him, he may lessen the amount that you have to for your bail. So.
What about, there's no way of retribution back on the people, even though you don't know who they are? You can pay like $20 if they say you have to pay 10, and then you go back and get the guy who got you?
No, nothing like that in place. But.
I think that would be great fun. Even if they did, but and it's pretty. Is this a new initiative this year?
It's not so much a new initiative. We just haven't had jail and bail for quite a few years in Moose Jaw, so we're just bringing it back. So it's something new that maybe the community hasn't seen in a long time.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing. But of course, the whole month, all 31 days of it, is some different special things going on. So let's talk about some of those. You've got some statistics here to talk about cancers in our country and how we're doing in the battle with them. So tell me a story.
In October, we're just trying to focus on awareness of people and women to just basically know your body and stay informed. So different changes or symptoms may not be something, but only your doctor can really tell you. So just to stay informed, and if you have any concerns or issues, see your doctor. And the whole month of October is dedicated to this because in all cancers in women in Saskatchewan alone, in 2013, there was 2,600 new cases of cancer.
Diagnosis of
And so that's something that we want to hopefully lower with preventative care and attention.
But I see you got deaths listed there.
Yeah.
Is that deaths this year from
That is in
cancer?
2013 alone.
Okay, and it was only only 1,100. You still to each person it's a
So it's under half, but we really want through prevention to lower that.
yeah. And breast cancer, which is the most I don't know where I heard the statistic, but it is the most deadly cancer of all the cancers that women can have. Is that right? I think.
In the ratios, it's not
Yeah.
as bad. Like 690 people last year were diagnosed with breast cancer. However, only 160.
Yeah. I think it must be that it's the most prevalent.
It is
yeah.
a very common and prevalent one for women.
Yeah, but lung cancer is not good, and
No.
never has been good.
No, exactly. And for lung cancer alone, in Saskatchewan last year, 390 people were diagnosed with it. And out of those ones, 280.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So, and colorectal, 330 and 120 deaths from them. So,
yes.
melanoma, we don't talk. Well, I guess nowadays, because of the tanning and the sun exposure and the supposed brown image, is making us,
And that's exactly something that we're trying to break away from, that to a lot of people, tan is the norm. And in tanning beds and even in this out unprotected in the sun, you're putting yourself at a greater risk of skin cancer. And we just want to bring awareness to that and maybe not make tan the norm.
Yeah. There was like, 60 and 10. So, and the last one was cervical cancer, of course. That 45 cases were diagnosed and 15 of those resulted in people passing.
Yeah.
But let's go on the other side, on the upside, and if we've got some items here that can be used at weddings. I never even thought of that, but how'd that idea come up?
It's something that not a lot of people think of, and we're actually trying to get out to more and more of the bridal shows and things to bring awareness to the new campaigns that we have. And one option that we have is we have a whole celebration for the weddings, and so we have different options and items that brides and grooms can use for their weddings.
Okay, and some of them include, like, one of the things I really like is the candle. And talk about the candle.
It's a glass canister with a flameless candle inside, and it's able to be engraved and put in memory of somebody that may have. And
have them part of your ceremony.
Exactly, yeah.
And then there's the box.
Yeah, we have a box at the office that's a padded decorative card box that can be borrowed and returned back to us after your wedding.
And that's for putting cards in.
Yes, exactly.
And also there's, you can have your place cards can be cancer place cards.
Yeah, and a nice option is we have the place cards, tent cards, and then also bookmarks that brides and grooms can get done up for their wedding. If they don't want to, say, have wedding favors, they could have this and support the Cancer Society.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it'd be a good thing, a bright day for both people and the families and the organization. Is there anything else happening in October that I haven't thought about? Because you always have good things going on.
Well, we focus mostly just on the women's cancer awareness in October, and then other than our jail and bail event, we don't have too much going on besides that yet.
Yeah. And of course the daffodils come out in the spring, and people should start thinking about that, which is it's a really good thing. It's a huge, people really have bought into the idea, you know.
Well, daffodils are a very good sign, the first sign of spring. So when we have them out, it really gives people hope that spring is soon to come.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if people want to get involved in helping out, because there's always room for and needs for volunteers, how do they go about doing that, Megan?
Anyone that wants to volunteer can certainly come down to the office here
Which is
at 61 Ross Street West. We're pretty easy to find right next to the post office.
Yeah.
Or if you want to call, the number is 692-2333.
Okay, and because there's always something that can be done.
Absolutely. We're always looking for volunteers for all sorts of things.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, thank you for letting us know about Women's Cancer Month in October. And if you've got a wedding coming up, maybe you want to think about some of the ideas that they have done here that you can include in that happy day for yourselves. And Megan, continued success here. Very comfortable and casual now. And
Yeah.
not nervous at all like last time. That was good. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to talk about adventure and a little bit of what did you do last summer? And I think you'll find it quite fascinating. So don't go away. We'll be right back.